Go
Pre-show.
I'm sharing the shit around. This is just a pre-show, guys. So just hang tight. About 5 minutes, we're gonna start the regular show.
Hang on tight.
This is the yeah, hang tight. This is the part of the show where we talk about
Hold on to your butts.
what we're gonna do on the show, and yeah, we're gonna get to that in just a minute. Taylor had to step away, and again,
He had to go pee.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing the stuff out to different groups and stuff. It was a great pre-show, if I can mention that. It was fun. It was interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely talk about the Justice League trailer. I do have some stills from it. You know,
What is up with Jared Leto's Joker? He looks like he just ate shit or something.
He's got red on his face. He's the Joker. What does that even mean?
That is not even appropriate.
Who cares?
It's not appropriate. It looks like he was. It looks like a baby eating a candy bar.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It looked like he had Kool-Aid mouth.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about Heroes Reborn. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and test the video while we're here. I'm just gonna play the video and tell me if it's too loud.
Ah! That's so loud!
No, come on. You're Hey, Nuezo, Harry. What up? Hey, mofos. Nice. He must know us. There's a new Guardians of the Galaxy team. We're going to talk about that in depth. I'm sure Taylor will have some insight on that, especially due to one of those characters.
Oh yeah. I can definitely.
There's
Taylor have opinions.
Another new X book on the way. We got Children of the Atom coming. We got Way of X coming. That Nightcrawler religion book. I can't wait for that. So we're going to talk about another one that's been announced. That'll be fun. And we're going to talk about Snow Angels. That's a new Jeff Lemire book coming on Comixology. And, of course, WandaVision.
I did watch it this week.
Oh, it's about time you caught up. I got a double dose of food news on this Valentine's Day, Valentine's-related food news. We have a terrible moment of destruction as Transformers Escape #2 came out.
I didn't hate it that much. I thought
I did not like it at all.
It wasn't
And then
awful.
our top 3. Does anyone else have any news that they're going to bring up? No?
I can. I got one thing.
It's not Gina Carano, is it?
No, it's not Gina Carano.
We're not talking that. Okay. What? Oh, so you do? You don't want to spoil it on the pre-show?
Oh,
okay, good.
It's just a Kickstarter. It's a non-comic book Kickstarter. I'm excited for.
Is it that burrito thing? Remember that burrito thing I talked about that one time?
No.
Oh, dude, you missed that episode.
It's better.
Oh, you do remember the burrito thing, though.
I remember the burrito thing.
Vaguely.
Oh, that thing was dope. I need to check in on that. See when those are shipping out. I'm hungry.
Yeah, a new Kickstarter is dropping.
Ordered the Kickstarter.
A new Kickstarter is dropping Wednesday this week.
All right, so that's great. We're also probably, let me see if I can find we'll talk about, this will be us here in a half an hour or so, I'm guessing, or half the country. Everybody stay safe, stay warm. This week will you hold on? This week is a busy week, okay? We got this show tonight, obviously. We have our regular Monday night preview show where we talk about all the new comics coming out. And Tuesday, we have Geek Tyrion collection. It was Leroy's pick. And it's RoboCop, the 1987 sci-fi action classic.
Can you fly, Bobby?
I love it.
I love this movie, man. You don't have to tell me twice to watch it. I've watched it twice already since
I've watched RoboCop, the first one, twice as well leading up. I'll probably watch it again before Tuesday night. But I watched RoboCop 2 earlier today.
Did you?
It's
I'm
bad.
sorry.
It's just
And
bad.
that was
not good.
This was the only good one.
At what point, in your opinion, did the RoboCop movies get bad? Some
That's
people
it.
will defend
Number 2.
it. Some people will defend it.
No, I mean it's not. It's got its moments.
Okay,
right?
It's not horrible. It's not like dog shit, but it's not great. It's not like
great.
The first one.
Number 3 is the worst.
No, is that when he
Is that
puts
the one
on
we had
like
the katana fight with like the Robo Samurai or?
Oh
yes,
my
that's the one.
gosh.
And Frank Miller
Isn't
was
that the Wolverine?
responsible for
Didn't that happen in the Wolverine?
Yes, it did. Except for this time, RoboCop was the samurai.
So look for that on Tuesday. That is going to be a blast. That's going to be about 7:30ish because Leroy's always late. And then our next top 5 is going to be the week after that on a Tuesday. That's top 5 comic book runs by writer. Here's a late entry: Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run.
That's a very important run to me.
It's a defining run, I think, for and it opened things up with the whole, Spectrum and all that.
I mean, it is a good one.
I will say though, it towards the later half of it, it does dip in quality severely.
Yeah,
as they kind of draw it. They after post Blackest Night, they really drag it out.
Cool. All right, well let's start this show. Everyone's ready. Everybody's
Brightest
tuned in.
Day was not really any good. Like,
Oh no, Blackest Night was great though. It was so weird.
Blackest Night was good. Right, Brightest Day was not good.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. I don't have a new video this week. I had to work on lowering the audio of the Heroes Reborn trailer.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
It's still pretty fucking loud, man.
The Heroes Reborn trailer is?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
man.
Good. It's good. It's good, though. It's good. It's good.
Well, we're playing it later because I got Heroes.
What does he not like? Brussels sprouts?
Everything. This show. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back to another episode of this Geek in Comics. Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Shit talk show!
See,
oh wow, David brought some energy for this one.
That's why people leave right away. I'm your co-host Gomer. With me, as always, fellow co-host Adam Normal Taylor, aka David. How is it going, gentlemen?
Excellent.
It's going pretty good, man. How's it going with you?
It's good. My segment 1 is a new Cobra Commander G.I. Joe classified figure.
Well, mine's new Kingdom Cyclonus.
I hate you. I hate you. I have not been able to find that.
This is my girlfriend's gift to me for Valentine's Day.
Oh, you have an awesome girlfriend.
I do. She is amazing.
Well, I'm not as hateful towards you now because somebody got it because they loved you.
But this thing is amazing.
He looks amazing.
Cobra Commander. All right, fuck Cobra Commander then.
Your Cobra Commander is awesome.
He's just Galvatron's bitch, but whatever. He's just Galvatron's little bitch.
I mean, isn't everyone Galvatron's bitch at some point?
Isn't Galvatron a bitch?
You say that, but Cyclonus is an integral part of one of your favorite comic book runs of all time. So,
and we're good, yeah.
But isn't Galvatron like Unicron's bitch?
Oh, everybody's bitch, man. We all working for the man. How about you two jokers? What you guys do this week? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
Well, I'm happy to report that my mother's coronavirus test came back negative.
Oh,
that's awesome.
I didn't sleep all week.
That's good to hear.
I didn't sleep all week.
Fuck you, Gomer. I mean, Jesus.
What?
That sounded so insincere. I was so worried.
At least you didn't play a video over it.
Taylor, what about you? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, it's been pretty solid. Everything got closed down this afternoon though at 3:00. Apparently they're really spooked about this inclement weather coming in. So that
some ice is coming, some stuff. Yeah, I'm in. I got a bottle of scotch.
I'll tell you this much. I went out earlier this evening, and from the time I went to the place and returned home, there was already another sheet of ice on my windshield.
Wow.
Well, as I was driving home this afternoon,
milk sandwiches.
I had the wipers going, and by the time the water was being pushed off my windshield, it was already freezing a little bit. So it's pretty fucking cold.
Yeah,
it is cold. It's like 26 degrees in the daytime.
Whoa.
In the news!
Let's talk about the weather. Anyway.
Fuck you, Gomer.
It's fucking cold outside.
We're 5 minutes into the show, and that's already twice Taylor's hit me. All right.
Well, stop being such an asshole. Maybe you could try that.
We need to put that on a t-shirt. We need that fuck you, Gomer, on a t-shirt.
I know we do. I need to add that. Anyway, the Justice League trailer dropped. The final one. We're a month away. This is pretty cool. Decide if you're any goodness.
Darkseid looks weird.
Well, he looks okay. What do you mean he looks weird?
He looks fine, but
I mean, he looks okay for the shitty CGI monster that always shows up at the end of these stupid DC movies. He looks okay.
Man, Thanos here looks awful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that in order to I think that they're trying so hard to make him not Thanos that they slimmed him up just a little too much.
Dude, he's
know?
lean. He's
He is
buff.
lean.
He's in
Like,
fight
they
shape.
knew that everyone was going to be him to Thanos.
Yeah. Well, rightfully so. I mean, they're the same guy, basically.
Yeah.
Didn't Marvel steal the idea from Thanos?
No, they have the same
That's
creator.
what's really funny about all this is that Thanos is explicitly a ripoff of Darkseid. Originally, he was a ripoff of Metron, but then Jim Starlin, Jim Shooter told him to, if you're going to rip off one of the new gods, rip off Darkseid because he's the really cool one. So yes, he is very directly a ripoff of Darkseid. But now everybody else is going to be the other way around, and that's kind of funny, honestly.
And then we got Joker. Here's Kool-Aid mouth Joker. Mom, can I have another Kool-Aid?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mom, can I have another Kool-Aid? Mom,
do we really need Jared Leto?
No, we
Joker
don't.
again?
We do not need more Jared Leto Joker, but
It's gonna help Batman save.
But we're gonna get it.
So far, every time he's appeared in a movie, his presence has been completely and utterly unnecessary. He had nothing to do in that Suicide Squad movie.
Well,
and
he's only in the nightmare scene of this movie. So,
hey, you remember what was the worst part of Batman versus Superman? The nightmare scene. So yeah, this is kind of lame.
I tell you, this trailer here has made it where I am not excited for this cut anymore.
Here's Superman.
I never was. I mean,
I'm just excited for this to be over with. I'm excited for this to come out so we can just not talk about it.
I'm more excited for it to come out so we can shit on it.
This is my favorite part.
That's a cool actualization of like the Dark Knight Returns Batmobile. Sure, that's
beautiful.
Fine.
It's beautiful.
It looks a little silly, but I guess it always was.
I love it. It's beautiful.
But yeah, Adam's right though. This release the Snyder Cut crap has been gestating in the zeitgeist for like what is it, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah. Well, we got another 1 month to wait, so I'm excited for it. I mean, more is more. It is what it is.
If you like the Batman v Superman movies, I'm glad for you. I really am, but they are veering hard away from that tone for a reason. Most people do not agree that was a good tone for these movies.
And we'll see. I mean, I want it to be over just like you guys, but I mean, it's more is more. I want to see more.
Oh, I mean, yeah, T-minus 4 weeks, right?
Yeah. All right, we got Heroes. We got Heroes Reborn. Is this really too loud? It's so loud. It's not that loud. How loud could it possibly be?
I mean,
everybody's leaving.
It was fine, man. I was just giving you crap.
Well, you should. I deserve crap. Ooh, and it drops the bass. Whatever happened to Earth's Heroes? A new segment. Hopefully every week we'll have some. Until May. No, I don't know. That's a lot. But we do have these new trading card variant covers. I don't know. Everything's
back to that old school Topps comics, comic cards and stuff.
So there's one missing from the middle, but we also have the individual cards that aren't edited, and you can see the red tape. It's Mephisto. It's very clearly Mephisto. This is not a WandaVision sort of, who could it possibly be? Is it Mephisto? No, it's fucking Mephisto. Duh.
Yeah, it's definitely Mephisto.
So I think this is a cool idea. I'm going to collect all these, and I'll let you guys know.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Is that Thor up there at the top?
Hey, that's big news right now too.
That's Thunderstrike.
Happy Meals. Go get yourself.
Yeah, it's Thunderstrike at the top.
I think it's Thor by any other name.
Yeah, it might be Thor. We're not quite sure how all that's going to pan out. So,
but it's the Thunderstrike look of Thor.
Sure. Or it could be.
He's at work. Okay, he's at his day job.
Marvel Thor.
All right, let's go on. This is big news. Taylor's going to love this. There's a new Guardians of the Galaxy team, and it's huge.
There's like a bunch of different teams.
I don't know. I think this is just one team, like 3 different squads.
I mean, they're only listing one creative team here, so presumably, regardless of whatever the team makeup is, it's one book. So.
Oh, yeah. This is. It even says issue 13, 14, and 15. These are like the covers. For those 3 issues, and I guess it's going to tell the story. The first team here on the left is pretty basic, but it's got Hulkling and Wiccan on it. That's pretty rad. I love those guys. They should get more love. But if team number 2 is the compelling one, because Dr. Doom is on the freaking team. What?
And along with Super Skrull.
What? Yeah, Clert is on there too. But what? Dr. Doom on the Guardians. I didn't know I wanted something so bad until Al Ewing's like, "Hey, you want Dr. Doom on the Guardians?" I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Oh yeah, that sounds
I
like that'd
do
be
want
cool.
Dr. Doom on the Guardians.
I'll see. I trust Al Ewing. I trust Al Ewing a lot. So I'm willing to give this the benefit of the doubt. But my initial reaction is it's kind of a weird place for Dr. Doom to be, you know?
Dude, him and Rocket on the same team is going to be gold.
That could be fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
Doom must be on all the books.
Yeah. But then we got this last team. I don't even know half of these folks. I know that's Phi Lavelle. I think this is
This Drax and Mantis.
Yeah, Drax and Mantis.
Is
and
that
that's
Adam
Hercules.
Warlock?
No, that's Hercules with the hair.
Okay.
I don't know who it is in the front. I don't know, but I haven't read Guardians since Donny Cates left the book, so I'm going to be picking this up for sure. For sure. And we'll talk about
mix.
it. So,
Interesting mix.
X Corp. We're moving right along through the news here. There's a brand new X book. Teeny Howard and Alberto Focci are on the book. Colors by Sunny Go, which is nice. Comes out on 5/12.
It's a pretty cover.
Yeah, and we have some interior art too with M. Monet St. Croix and of course Angel, just doing the business side of everything that the X-Men are doing.
Managing the Krakoan exports.
I don't know exactly.
No, this is an interesting premise, and they have seeded it already. I forget exactly where, but we already saw. It might have been an X-Men somewhere. I don't know. But we already saw Angel and Monet here going around setting this shit up already.
Yeah.
But I gotta say though, these are
the medicine.
These are two characters that I don't really care about.
I'll tell you that artwork for, or at least the silhouette of Angel looks like Harvey Birdman.
You're not wrong.
What are you doing?
You're not wrong. Yeah.
I'm never gonna see anything else now. I liked this cover until you just ruined that for me.
You totally ruined it for me. That's Harvey Birdman.
I'm just doing my part to shorten the X minute.
Jerk. All right, finally. Well, no, we still got WandaVision. I don't know what else we could say about WandaVision except, but
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Snow Angels, Jeff Lemire and Jock. We finally got some preview images. This is a Comixology exclusive.
Yeah, that's a killer team,
and that's gonna kill me. I already got a copy of issue number 1. Actually, I haven't read it yet. But I mean, the art is great. It's Jock.
Oh yeah, it's Jock, man.
Oh,
Jock is fantastic. You can't go wrong with him.
Oh, it's gonna be very cool. But I guess
wait up, Bruce Wayne.
They live in this place called the Trench. They were born in the Trench. They'll die in the Trench.
The Trench.
The Trench. They're the Trench folk.
And they discover that it's the remains of the Death Star on Hoth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a seemingly endless frozen trench carved into the surface of an otherwise icy wasteland. I don't know. What the hell else you want? It's Jeff freaking Lemire.
I mean, that seems cool. And it seems like Jock and Jeff Lemire would probably make for a good pairing. It seems like his art style and his writing style go pretty well together, I would think.
I agree 100%. I'm so stoked for it. I'm very happy to be getting that. I'm probably going to read that later on tonight. So, all right, last bit of news before we get into the food news. I got a video for this one. It's silent though, so turn your audio on.
Oh, it's so loud!
Oh my gosh!
God damn it, David!
Finally, we got the full comic accurate Scarlet Witch costume. I'll play it again.
And Vision costume. And Quicksilver costume.
I got stills of those. But I had to get the full Wanda coming down the steps because she just looks gorgeous. I heard that she had to fight for this to get the original costume in the show. But yeah, we got there.
They found a really clever way to implement it, making it all their Halloween costumes. It was a
genius.
These costumes, of course, look ridiculous, but they found a good way to work them in. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they looked ridiculous.
Did you notice
in the 60s? I mean, in the comics, they looked ridiculous.
Did you notice that Wanda and Peter, as kids trick or treating, were cosplaying or dressed up as Black Widow and Nick Fury?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I thought he was a pirate.
the whole Malcolm in the Middle style where they would do like the cutaways and things. Those were pretty fun. I like like. It's getting less and less, I think, where we can talk about like this show as like an homage to old sitcoms. But I really did love the Malcolm spoof for this one.
I mean, that's just one angle of how awesome this shit is. But
there's so much. There's so much to enjoy about the show. It's fun to connect the dots. It's fun to see the sitcom homages. It's fun to see it integrate into the MCU more and more, especially in the back half of the season here. But I'm actually something I'm really excited for is who is this person that Monica is on her way to meet, because they teased it 2 episodes in a row, and that makes me think it's going to be someone pretty important when she does.
It's an aerospace engineer. She mentioned
my bet is Reed Richards.
My bet is Riri Williams.
She specifically called it a he this time.
Oh, did she? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's going to talk about how close Monica Rambeau is to getting her powers.
She's very close.
And what if this is how they make mutants? What if the Hex washes over the world and changes so many people's DNA that we get mutants now? I don't know. That's
sort of like a cross between what happened in the Inhumans. If you remember the Terrigen mist cloud that went across the globe and turned, latent Inhumans powered. But
isn't
I'm okay
Agents
with
of
that.
Shield? Isn't Agents of Shield part of MCU?
It is, but no one cares.
But no,
but
exactly.
they've already done the Terrigen thing in Agents of Shield,
and they also had an Inhuman.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, but they also had an Inhuman show that they're ignoring too.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. What is FNAF? What is that?
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, I can't tell you anything.
It's a video game. It's a video game. There's a lot of sequels. There's a bunch of Funko Pop.
Yeah. A bunch of murderous Chuck E. Cheese mascots wander around and try to kill you.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about that.
Yeah, that movie with Nicolas Cage, like Willy's Nightmare or something like that on Netflix or something. That's pretty much what that is.
I'm just gonna keep bringing up the hot pictures of Wanda Maximoff. So yeah, WandaVision. I mean, I don't know what else we can even say. It's just
unless we want to get into like full tinfoil hat mode here and like. What do you think's up with Agnes, or what's Pietro really doing?
This let a lot in on Agnes.
Well, what do you think Pietro is? Do you think Pietro is Wanda putting Pietro there, or is it like the boys, is the Wiccan creating Pietro with his powers?
I don't know.
And the reason why Pietro looks different is because it's the boys' imagination of what Pietro looks like.
But
maybe,
But
I don't think it's either of those things, though. I think
it's probably not.
Pietro seems to know a lot of what's going on. Like, he's asking her about how she's setting all this up. He knew that Vision was dead, and if he's a conjuring of Wanda's own mind, why would he even know that? Because he died way before Vision did, of course.
Well, there was something that come up from last week's episode when Pedro showed up, and in a reflection in the mirror showed that there was another arm that didn't belong to Wanda or Pedro. And it had a hold of Pietro, so they're saying that there's an outside force influencing now. Yeah. That's not part of Sword or not Wanda.
Well, if you look at the signs here for the movies, there are 2 movies: The Incredibles and The Parent Trap, which just was perfect. If we're just talking about Easter eggs, but
the background stuff is always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I think we can take Wanda at her word when she says she doesn't know how this actually started. I mean, obviously she can exert a lot of influence, and she can leave whenever the fuck she wants, apparently, based off of the last episode. But there's definitely some sort of other force at work here that is either coercing her into doing this or just, giving her enough rope to hang herself, so to speak.
Yeah,
I thought that Agnes, there was something with Agnes, but until like Vision had that conversation with like the Agnes that's not
mesmerized,
the unglamored Agnes. Sure. Do we know for sure she was?
Because she might have been faking it.
She has been facilitating.
Like clued in.
Yeah, she's been facilitating something in every episode, just about. And here, she is the one who facilitated Vision leaving the Hex. Right after that conversation, he flies off and tries to do it. Maybe she wanted him to do that. I don't know. But I'm sure that there's more to her than there is to anybody else inside the Hex.
Back on Wanda, I think her motivations are very righteous, and I think Sword, at least to some extent, is kind of being villainous.
They're definitely trying to cover something up.
Well, they had Vision. They were literally actively experimenting on Vision when she goes in to rescue Vision, steal his body.
Yeah.
So
and Darcy found some shit. We didn't get to see what it was, but she emailed it off to Jimmy. And incidentally, it was cool seeing Jimmy kick some ass in this episode.
Oh, right?
You know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Hey, Joe Laws, thanks for hanging out, bro. We appreciate it. Yeah, WandaVision is definitely going to be tying into Doctor Strange. We already know that the character is going to be in the Doctor Strange movie, so there's going to be some sort of tie-in there.
But Pietro being the actor from the Fox movies, I do not think that's the case at all. I think that's just a meta joke
it's the
for
same
the
actor,
audience.
but it's
the same actor, but I don't think
we know
there's no way. There's no way Disney wants to use any of the shit from Fox.
See,
there's no way they're ever going to acknowledge its existence.
I mean, they're at least acknowledging its existence to some extent, even if it's only in the most meta of ways.
I
agree with you. I know it's just another
sort of. Not Pietro is the big point, though.
Exactly.
This is somebody wearing it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know, he was prompting her to explain the situation. You know, he's
but could it still not be some character from the other X-Men universe, the Fox X-Men universe?
Unless it's Shadow King, then maybe not.
Or Xavier.
Why would Xavier do that?
I
don't know.
Why are you bringing Xavier up?
Well, I thought that it was.
You have a lot of tinfoil in your head.
Deadpool's its own thing. Deadpool doesn't have to integrate into anything else. Deadpool can just stand alone on its own.
Yeah, but I think Deadpool will just stand on its own. Eventually, it'll all be brought in together. He'll make a lot of jokes for both universes.
Sure.
And
but yeah, I don't think they're going to make any characters malevolent. They're not going to make Wanda actively malevolent. They're not going to introduce Professor X just to make him this force of malevolence. They're going to make, he's going to be, the White Knight good guy character whenever they get around to using him.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, within the Hex, Wanda is animating what is the corpse of Vision, but if we have to recognize that there's been several years that passed since Pedro died in Sokovia. And maybe the Pedro we have in WandaVision is her trying to remember her brother.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. We definitely know he's
dead. His face.
Well, and he showed up. Okay, we know that Wanda is at least to some part manipulating Vision, and she saw his dead corpse, like he was grayed out at one point with the big hole
in his head.
That happened to Pietro as well in this issue. She had flash where he
had all the bullet holes in him.
Yeah, so there's definitely some third party manipulating things here, and right now everything still leads to Agnes being part of that. But yeah, we just don't know. I think I think we're on the last 3 episodes. I think it's only 9 episodes.
Yeah,
they're an hour long though. They're going to be an hour.
Next episode will probably be the Modern Family stuff that we saw in the trailer. Well, and then the last 2, I don't know if we're going to do sitcom stuff anymore. It might just be let's wrap up the meta narrative here.
Well, they introduced the carnival, and usually carnivals are associated with horror.
Well, yeah, true. But
that might have just been she turned the guy in the hazmat suit to a beekeeper. That just might be more of that. I don't think. Well, I don't know that there's too much to read into it.
She may be extending the hex. She may not.
I don't know that there's a mind-blowing secret reason for every fucking thing. I think that
go to the internet, bro.
Turning into another tent might just go to the internet.
I just think the carnival vehicles were easy, weird vehicles to turn the weird shield stuff into.
Dude, also,
she turn all the shields
and turning them into clowns and mimes and shit might just be her way of insulting them.
Sure,
right.
One of the boys was making cereal at the beginning of the episode, and somebody froze it on that frame and was able to read the label on the milk carton, and it's the Bova milk from which they've already alluded to in the series. But I'm just saying, you say, oh, everybody's hinging on every little moment. Dude, this show kind of compels you to comb through every frame and look
it does. And they definitely know that they're making this in the internet age where we can freeze every second of this as we're watching it, and they know people are going to pour over it on the internet. But I just think sometimes a nod is just a nod. There's not necessarily a deep meaning to everything. It might just be a joke, you know?
But you say that, dude, that's another part of the genius of this show, the way it compels you to want to ask questions. It's free promotion all over the internet. People are talking about this show all the time. Every time an episode comes out, people are all over it. So yeah, we'll have more on that next week, and it'll be longer because it'll be an hour. All right, food news. It is Valentine's Day, so we have a Coca-Cola candle that smells like Coca-Cola. Created.
I like Coke, but I don't.
I'm surprised this didn't already exist. Honestly,
it's put in an upcycled Coca-Cola soda can, which is environmentally friendly.
Until you finish it.
Well, then you just send it back and they fill it up for you.
I mean, nothing to lose, right? It was a can of Coke that already would have been thrown away anyway, so there's no downside to turning into a candle.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
Or aluminium. This is made by the 716 Candle Company. You can find them on Etsy. Give them a shout. They are not a advertiser here, but they're making good shit.
But they will be.
You never know. They are making milk chocolate covered wavy lays.
That sounds disgusting.
Dude, have you ever had chocolate covered potato chips? They're delicious.
Chocolate chips ain't bad. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
It's chocolate covered potato chips.
Yeah, the sweet and salty together is the perfect little play off of each other. However,
I love this.
The chocolate overpowers the chip taste. It's basically like eating a Kit Kat.
It is. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a crunch and there's that saltiness to it. But there's a limited quantity of these, but you can't buy them in stores. You have to enter a stupid social media contest.
Oh, lame.
Lame. More like wavy lames. More like wavy lames. Did you guys not hear me?
I heard it.
I heard you. Yeah.
I just didn't know if I should laugh.
You shouldn't have. But
I hated this issue. Transformers. This is our moment of destruction where we talk about
Hasbro's
line of Action Comics. This week we only had the one. Transformers Escape number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
The only cool part was Soundwave talking to Sound Blaster about cloning the Insecticons, because originally the Insecticons, that's where they came from this big clone factory, and only 1 in 1,000 actually had their brains about them, at least in the IDW last run in the Phase 2. And that's how we got the 3 main Insecticons. There was a swarm of 3,000 of them, and only 3 of them were, smart or whatever.
Well, that's kind of a nice nod to the G1 stuff, because
was lame.
They could kind of clone themselves.
It was unorganized. It was just disjointed.
It is. Yeah, I will say Brian Ruckley does not know how to write comic books. He does not know how to structure his scenes. It's all over the place. It jumps all over the place. But that said, some of the ideas I didn't hate. I liked Giamottis being the one to deliver the news that basically Cybertron's fucked. It's going to blow up soon.
Kal-El, why do you keep doing this?
Yeah, and that their plan for one arc for just the biological people is not nearly enough.
They don't even have the arcs. It's like, all right, dude, in the other book, it's like they're saying, oh, war is here, man. It's happening all over the place. It's terrible. But they're just talking. And then in this book, they're like, maybe we should get these organics off the planet. It's like they're not even trying very hard.
No, there's not. Nobody has a real big sense of urgency as to everything that's going on.
They're sitting there chatting about, oh, Hound. Remember that time you did? Oh yeah, I remember. A little like kicking back, chatting. And then, here's Skytread with an ambush. Oh no, it's lame.
I am interested in Die Atlas with this whole Immersant thing, and then I did like the Insecticons, all the Insecticon stuff. I liked their scene where they what they implanted that one guy. What was his name? I forgot his name. Some random transformer. They attacked him in some room and they implanted some bug on him to mind control him.
Also,
but why though? That dude's worthless now. He doesn't have his Titan. That dude's worthless.
But they got him because he's worthless. He's the worthless guy that they have do menial tasks, so they don't really pay attention to him when he's there during the important shit that's going on. He's there.
I don't like it.
Man, you just want to shit on all this stuff because it's not your old continuity.
I did not like this book at all.
I will say this book has a lot of flaws, and you are definitely right to not like it.
At the beginning, they like set up them doing this thing, and then they cut away, and then halfway through the book, they go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
To that, but like before
very
that,
choppy, very choppy.
Yeah, very choppy. Not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun. So there you go. There's your moment of destruction. I don't know what we got next week. I didn't even look. Tune in tomorrow night. We'll talk about it. Let's do top 3. I think we'll start with David. Did we start with David
last week?
Yeah, we started with David last week. We'll start with Taylor this week.
Okay.
Let Taylor jump in first here. Go ahead, Taylor. Honorable mentions and your number 3 comic book of the week.
Okay. For my first honorable mention, I'm going to do the Black Panther King in Black tie-in. It wasn't, like, astoundingly good. We've definitely read better Black Panther stuff. Like, my favorite Black Panther tie-in of all time was the Secret Invasion one where Jason Aaron had them fighting off Skrulls.
Yeah.
This one...
They mention that in this book.
They do, that's what made me think about it specifically. It's not a great move for them to refer to a better instance of them doing kind of the same thing here. It is only involved, but I still enjoyed like Black Panther's like magnificent bastard moment where like he had like planned out like the chess moves like 20 steps ahead and like came up with a way to like use the shield that wasn't working but still used it to like amplify the sound boost. And like I like the part where he's like getting out like Claw's sound blaster thing. It's like, all right, you motherfucker, it's about time you were useful to me for once. But
it was an okay issue. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite Black Panther book or my favorite King in Black tie-in. So
that's fair. Yeah, but
good mention though.
For my number 3, I think I am going to do Power Pack number 3.
Oh.
This book is always a lot of fun. They keep shifting perspectives between the different siblings, and this time we got Julie Power. It's been cool seeing like the writing change from like one perspective to the next. Like we started off with Katie having like a really childish view, and we had like Alex in the last issue kind of like dealing with being like the elder sibling here, and also the existential crisis of being older than his legal age is. And I always like Ryan North's writing. He does a good job keeping things funny and lighthearted, and we do finally see the wizard pull off his evil ploy here. But if you haven't been enjoying the book so far, this probably won't change your mind. But if you have been, this one is definitely going to keep you around, I think. So that's my number 3.
Nice. Good choice. I'll go next. We'll just go around the clock. I got 3 honorable mentions. I'm just going to mention literally 2 of them because I'm pretty sure David's got them on his list. Casual Fling number 1 and Radiant Black number 1. Both damn good reads. But my actual honorable mention is Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood number 3. Donny Cates, Jed McKay, John Ridley, Chris Bachalo, Jesus Saiz, and Jorge Fornes. Just this crazy art style where it's black, white, and red. And it's Wolverine stories. I love a good Wolverine one-shot, and this was good. The reason this particular panel caught my attention is because it's just damn good comic booking. This is a stealth robot that AIM sent to kick Logan's ass, right? The first move the robot does is burn Logan's eyes out. So he can't smell him and he can't see him. So all he can do is use his ears. So while the bad guys are monologuing, he's able to position himself between where the robot is between him and these guys. So that thing sort of blocks out what they're saying. So he's able to see, quote, not see, but hear where this stealth bot is. And just the way they did that using sequential comic book art was kind of ingenious.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's really clever. Yeah.
Yeah, very clever. That's the word for it, dude. Just a really clever thing, and I wanted to mention that more than anything. But 3 really solid stories. I mean, this is the Jed McKay story right here, but Donny Cates and John Ridley also wrote one. So yeah, great book. But my number 3 is Star Trek Voyager, Seven's Reckoning #4 by Dave Baker and Angel Hernandez. Great story, amazing art. Just, I mean, look at this art. And if you know anything about Seven as a character, she was kidnapped by the Borg as a baby, you know, not a baby, but like a young girl, very young girl. And her parents' ship was called the Raven.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't their ship called the Raven?
Yeah, and then it goes from this to this, where she's waking up in sick bay, you know. Just really cool sequential art, you know, the way it goes. But then the writer and artist just really capture the characters. You know, Janeway's telling the doctor, "All right, doctor, I need a minute with Seven," and he's like, you know, rolling his eye, then goes away. They just really captured the characters of the TV show just really, really well. And I love Voyager. You know, I miss seeing those characters. It's my favorite Star Trek. I know it's not the best Star Trek, but it's my favorite Star Trek.
It's a good Star Trek.
And it was just really cool to see these characters again. And that's one of the great things about comic books is these shows and movies and shit don't really ever end. You know, for comic book readers, we can always find new material where anything, I don't care what it is, Buffy, Firefly, Star Trek, Star Wars, Aliens, you
Terminator,
know,
Predator,
Transformers. It's always
Ninja
ongoing.
Turtles.
It's one of the gifts of the medium, and I really enjoyed the series. So, yep, that's my number 3, Star Trek Voyager. And we'll probably never see Star Trek Voyager again. It'll be years. So
cool.
Honorable mentions.
Well, my honorable mentions for the week is going to be X-Force number 17, The 1,000 Deaths in One Life of Quentin Quire, Kid Omega. You know, I really like a lot of the ideas and themes that were brought up in this issue about life and death and what that really means for mutants.
Yeah.
Plus,
this made my list. Yeah.
Plus, I think Kid Omega and Phoebe's relationship is really interesting, with her just pumping him full of memories every single time.
Weird.
It's super weird. Every single time he gets reborn.
I would not trust a psychic girlfriend. I'm sorry.
That said, though, all that interesting stuff in there, not much really happened in this issue, which is why I didn't make my list.
Nice.
And then my other honorable mention is going to be Robin Eternal number 2. This is my only DC book for the week. Mostly because of the art. Eddie Barrows does the art for this. And in this, Robin gets infected with some Lazarus serum or whatever, but it really messes with his mind, and he starts tripping out in the middle of this issue, and Eddie Barrows' trippy art is just great to look at.
Man, I'm going to have to go back and check that out if that's just for that moment.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But my actual number 3 for the week is going to be Sword number 3.
That's my number 1, actually.
Yep, I thought this was a great.
That's
issue.
your number 1 too, Taylor?
It is.
Wow, what a great book!
It is a great book, man. I love the art in it. There's a lot of different artists in it, but it's still a pretty damn good-looking book.
That right there may be my favorite 2-page spread I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just gorgeous.
It introduces a lot of interesting ideas, especially with mutants are now willing to offer up other mutants to get things done.
Like actually offer their lives up, because what is
life now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, to be fair, the two guys did volunteer, or something.
Yeah.
Say, but
Yeah.
Right.
Although in a country full of psychics, who can trust that, honestly?
Yeah, right.
And
especially when you have mutants that manipulate minds.
That's
good point.
What I just said.
Yeah.
This issue also explores Manifold's powers in a lot of interesting ways. I like the way he does a little eye hole thing where he's spying on the Orcus
dude from
Alpha Flight. No, he just spins space.
He asks. Hey, Gomer, are we talking about this now, or are we waiting till later?
And we can talk about our number ones now, because this is my number one book of the week.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite aspects of this, is because like they point out that like calling Eden a teleporter is like calling Superman a weightlifter. That is really selling short just all the full package this guy brings. Like he just basically can tell the space-time continuum to do anything he wants it to do. Although he does say he asks it, so he's polite about it.
It's because it's the spiritual. There's this subtle spirituality that Ewing writes.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that conversation. Yeah,
I love the conversation he had with his kinfolk there in the Outback. I like that. Yeah, he has this sort of Zen element to his powers. It's not just this like brute force application. It's there's like you said, there's the spirituality to it, and that's really cool. And also, I really like Gyrich, who's like he's a character that's like you're supposed to hate him, and like Eden basically just like making him look like an idiot in this issue. Like, oh, of course I didn't print it out, and then he's like, oh, he printed it out.
Yeah, of course.
Why do you have a printer in space anyway, bro? Come on, man. Yeah, there was so much going on in this, and also
it's gonna be really hard to replace your toner in space.
The shipping fees alone, and then also don't forget they do finally get back to this whole King in Black nullified Cable story at the end, which I didn't even care about. Everything else was so good, I didn't even care.
This was just the Watch Eden. This was like the Eden spotlight issue.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
Yeah,
and it was
one page, like him doing his walkabout, through like all these alien worlds. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. I loved this issue.
Oh, here, I'll bring that back up. A lot of things could have gone wrong with this particular issue. Okay, it's an event tie-in really early in the run. 4 different interior artists.
It has nothing to do with the event, though.
It really didn't have anything to do with it. There's 4 different interior artists, not counting the colorist, and there was a focus just on one character on a team that's full of just amazingly interesting.
And it's a brand new team too. We don't know a lot of these characters on this team.
Like they picked from a lot of really obscure characters to make up this team. Eden might be the most famous member of the team, to be perfectly honest.
Which is weird. You're right. That's so weird. Well, sure. Yeah, Abigail. Yeah. And Cable, but yeah, great pick. That's my number 1 pick. Adam, that was your number 3 pick. We're going way out of order. Try to keep up. AKA David. Honorable mentions at number 3.
All right, 4 honorable mentions.
4?
4. Kind of a surprisingly good week this week. New book called Orcs, number 1.
It was good.
It was actually pretty good. Just the stories of these young orcs these young orcs are trying to relive the stories of legendary orc adventurers.
Yeah.
And get mixed up with rabid squirrels in the end. Very, very fun. If you liked books like Lumberjanes and Giant Days and stuff, that artwork is very similar to that. Really nice book to start out with.
I
do like those books. I do like those books a lot. Yeah. So maybe I'll give that.
This book could have very easily gone because it's an all ages sort of read.
Yeah.
And the orcs, stereotypically are like evil. They're bad guys.
Well, they
keeps that edge. You know what I mean? It keeps that edge to it. Just makes it a little bit comedic. You know what I mean?
They're
a really good job.
They're kind of pricks, but they're not on the scale
complete
like
Mordor
orcs and all that.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the old grandmother orc. She goes into the astral plane, and the other ones are like, "Damn, we should have asked her sooner."
Yeah.
Other honorable mention this week is National Anthem number 5. Just a whole lot of fun mayhem going on in this. We got a character who can apparently be like Dr. Manhattan in the way of taking apart things on a molecular level, and they get through a barricade that way. It's like a police barricade.
Okay.
Like 5 people in a car, and they're just going through a police barricade, and she like disassembles the car and sends
then
reassembles it. So it's like some Dr. Manhattan level shit right there.
That's fun.
Big twist at the end of it. Don't want to spoil that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 114. We're going into a time travel kind of story arc. Lita from the future, the young albino turtle, has come back to the past. Has a very neat little interaction with her younger self, which they even comment like, how you're not supposed to be interacting with your past self.
Yeah.
Very fun stuff. She comments about Toga and Razor and how big they are, and they're like already pretty big, and she just is like, yeah, they're just babies.
Yeah.
There's a very poignant moment between Janika and Karai where Jen confronts Karai about being left to die and then getting the blood transfusion that turned her into a turtle. And Bebop and Rocksteady show up, and they go after the pig mutant girl with the rock band. So, and
crazy.
There was
read it this week. I usually do read this book though,
but there's they're trying to like restore the timeline, and you've got that master time traveler Renette like interfering with things, and then she makes like these little comments like, "Oh, a fifth turtle with a yellow mask." Yeah. Like, if she's from the future, why didn't she know about Janika? Yeah. So it's just little fun things sprinkled throughout the book that made it really enjoyable.
Nice.
I Walk with Monsters number 3. We get a little bit background on Jamie, what happened after her brother was taken away from her, what happened to her father. Apparently he died of a heart attack. So a lot of really good storytelling in there. We get some background on our monster character, how he was not necessarily the best kind of person there was, and now he's cursed to be like this werewolf, shadow wolf creature thing. Nice. A lot of good storytelling. Why Jamie can't trust people. She, after her first foster father dies, she gets sent to another foster home, and they're nothing but nice to her, and she just overhears them talking about it's just going to take time. There's the good kid in there somewhere. We just got to give her time, and maybe she'll open up to us. And she basically like imagines like the shadow wolf creature killing them. Some really interesting stuff going on in this book.
Talk about Casual Fling, because I know that's your number 3.
That actually did not make my list.
Did you read it?
I haven't been able to read it yet.
Oh.
I had 4 honorable mentions.
I figured it would be in there. I can't believe you read this many books this week.
I have 4 honorable mentions, and I still have a top 3, and I still haven't gotten through half my comic books yet.
Wow. Casual Fling was freaking like Basic Instinct, man. It was whack, dude. It was a bit disturbing. Anyway, sorry. I wish you would have read that. Definitely read it.
You are right. One of your honorable mentions is my top 3.
Nice.
Radiant Black.
Cool.
Very interesting, origin story of a superhero, kind of becomes a superhero by accident. Yeah. The character is named Nathaniel. He's kind of a down on his luck writer. He's broke. He's in debt. He's trying to get loans. He's forced to move back in with his family. A lot of great artwork here from Marcello Costa. Kyle Higgins writes it. And he just kind of, on a drunken night out with his best friend, Marshall, he kind of comes across this little orb of energy, and it bonds to him, and now he's a superhero.
He's got a super suit and can do
He's got a super suit with powers, and apparently there's another individual that's got a super suit with powers.
Yeah, very relatable sort of character. It reminds me of Peter Parker.
It does remind me a bit of Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Good choice. Good choices all around, man. I read most of those. Taylor, number 2. Last book for you. Last book.
It is, yeah. My number 2 is going to be Eternals number 2. Kieran Gillen as Sod Rabbit.
That's my number 2.
Nice.
Well,
yeah.
Nice.
This book is mostly carried by the strength of the artwork here.
Oh, definitely. Sod Rabbit is knocking it out of the park.
I mean, I've never read a thing of his where I looked at something and was like, oh, this isn't working for me. He always gives it his A game, and the whole fight sequence between Icarus and Thanos.
That's
the fight through time and space is great.
Oh, yeah.
So cool, dude.
Moving like a meteorite through the Dark Ages and with dinosaurs and all this shit. And a Sandra Bick drawing Thanos ripping Icarus's head off was quite the treat as well.
So cool, dude. As good as the art is, I'm still not really sure what the hell's going on in this book. Honestly,
I'm kind of with you there. I'm still not really sure what's going on, but I did like the little sort of parable that was in the middle of this.
Yeah,
with Icarus coming down, and getting some dude to waste his life, basically, sitting by this beach, lighting a beacon.
He still had like a family, you know. He had like his grandkids there at the end.
Yeah,
so
at least he didn't.
It wasn't super dark, you know. Like,
it was still kind of. I don't know, man.
It was still a sad story, but it would have been so much worse if he was like this outcast hermit all his life because he was.
And the monster did come at the end.
The monster did come at the end. So yeah, but that was a really cool breakup in the middle there. And okay, so Kieran Gillen is giving these guys really stiff, like almost theatrical dialogue, but I think that's
very
appropriate.
Shakespearean.
Yeah, it's appropriate for characters who are immortals, who are like millions of years old. It makes sense that they would have this stiff, stilted dialogue. So it's one of those things. It is kind of like Shakespeare in that like you kind of have to read it twice. Like once to be like, okay, here what they say, and then the second time to be like, what did they just say? But
yeah.
That being said,
you can read what it is, but you have to. Like you said, you almost have to examine every line.
Digest it, you know?
Yeah. You need to let it kind of go through your head for a second time.
It's like wine, dude. You almost have to let it breathe for a little while. Yeah.
But honestly, Assad Ribic drawing anything is probably an automatic top 3 book for me. But
sure.
I'm really enjoying this.
Who's that random kid at the end of it?
I have no idea. They didn't explain that at all. Oh, it was the kid he saw in like the last issue. He saw like a prophecy of him trying and failing to protect this kid. And as far as we know, that's the only reason he shows up at the end of this book, to try to protect this kid. So
he's showing up to fail to protect this kid.
I'm not sure.
Like, I guess I'm supposed to do this.
Feel the prophecy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's weird, dude. But yeah, you're right. The Ribic art is amazing, but I'm not following Gillen's story at all. It's unique though.
Gillen, you usually got to give him a volume's worth to let you set the stage. He's really good about that. It's almost always something that pays off if you stick with it.
Sure.
All right. Anyway, that's my number 2. So
nice. My number 2 is X417, Percy Cassara. Yes, there's like this conspiracy going on where all these things are happening off the coast of Krakoa and has Krakoan fingerprints all over it, but they're not doing it. It needs to be investigated. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? This is all about Kid Omega on a date with his girlfriend. Coming to terms with his own pain and just getting a makeover. Dude, I saved all these. The many deaths.
He has a lot of great deaths.
The many deaths of Kid Omega. The acid bath bomb. That's probably my favorite. The acid bath bomb.
He also gets a makeover in this issue, and his makeover's pretty good. I like his new costume.
I've got it. I want to get through all these deaths. Yeah, this one was great. This one just the bugs. Yeah,
that's horrifying.
That's scary. This one, he just accidentally goes through a Krakoan portal that's in space. Oh, oops.
Why is there a Krakoan portal in space?
Who knows?
There's one at the moon.
I mean, that's where the Summers family hangs out, but that's a breathable part of the moon. I don't know why you'd set one up in like a place with no atmosphere, but hey, I guess. What's the downside when you're just going to get resurrected anyway, right?
Exactly. This is him. Yeah. He needs to be smart in this panel, like Domino hiding behind the bulletproof man. Okay, instead of right out there up front. I love how he gets shot right between his glasses, like his glasses come apart. This one, for some reason, he got poisoned roses. This one, he gets sucked through a jet airline engine. This one, I don't know what's happening here. Volcano layer.
And that's that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom kind of thing.
Yeah. Ogum Shemai.
Yeah. I get that we don't need to worry about it too much, but how many dozens of missions has he been on where has he died in every single one of them?
He's trying to get that card clicked off so you can get the free one.
Yeah, that's basically what the book's about.
They have an unreasonable amount of punches you need to get because he's he's gotten past the 12, which I think is the usual high bar for that.
And then at one point, he tries to process, his pain, and
he should stop.
He literally unlocks some old memories and stuff that he has to, deal with.
Yeah,
maybe he picked a very bad name. Omega usually means the end.
But then he gets a new outfit. Yeah. not bad.
Yeah.
I should have gotten a panel where
it should have been in blue, so we can call him an ultramarine.
There's a 6-panel page where it's him wearing different outfits. Like one of them's you got like cables, you got a bunch of pouches and shit.
Too pouchy.
Yeah, she said too pouchy.
Jason Aaron's run on Wolverine and the X-Men made Quentin Quire one of my kind of low-key favorite characters.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing him not dressed up like just like some punk kid though, you know?
Oh, they tear into him for dressing up like some punk kid.
Yeah,
this entire issue.
That four-arm Taylor who Emma hangs out with, you know, she had him brought back through the resurrection protocols just so he could design her outfits. He's the one they're dealing with, you know, changing all his clothes. Yeah, he calls him out on his punk goth
high school
look or whatever. I love these X books that don't take themselves too seriously. While there is still plenty going on in here that's dealing with the overall Krakoan, you know, element and things like that, and what X-Force does. This is just sort of a quaint, intimate delve into a single character. It's the same reason I like the Sword book from this week. It's small, but it's huge. You know what I mean?
Character spotlight books done right can be a real treat, and it sounds like this one was that for Quentin.
And I think that's what we get as these X books continue to go on. It affords them the opportunity, the creators, to do this sort of thing, to just say, you know what, I'm going to have fun. I want to do a damn Quentin Quire issue. I'm doing a Quentin Quire issue. Al Ewing's like, oh, I got to do a King in Black tie-in. Well, screw you. I'm just going to make it all about Manifold and not even really talk about King in Black. Go to hell. And good. I'm happy they're doing it. So
is Manifold a mutant though?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I didn't think he was, but okay.
Yeah, he is a mutant. Yeah, that was actually confirmed in his first appearance, which was by Bendis and Hickman in Secret Warriors. I think it was number 4, where he didn't register, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't have to register when I was a mutant either. I know how to keep away from you folks." And then he like teleports, you know. So, well, when Nick Fury finds him, you know, Nick Fury's like, "Oh, I know what you can do," because you know Nick Fury.
I need you.
Always a badass.
You got a special ability I need.
Yeah. So I think Adam gave his number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 was Eternals.
So, David, you're up to number 2, and then
number 2.
It's just a 2-man show from here on out. T.
All righty, number 2 is Scout's Honor. Number 2.
Ooh,
we get
P-Post,
and I don't even Casasala Lagueda.
Yeah, Lagueda.
We pretty much get like the reason why Kit decides to become a scout. You know, she's a girl. She's not supposed to be in the Scouts, but she gets inspired by the Scout Rangers who rescue her as a child. Her and her father. Her mother dies, and she just decides that these people are strong enough to protect people, and that's what I want to do.
Interesting.
She brings back the drone to her father. It's got a lot of really nice nods to when I read this book, I feel like I'm reading Fallout, a Fallout comic. Her father comments about like this is pre-war tech, and those solar panels could power a house for years. And he's trying, you know, there's a hidden message on that drone, and she's trying to get that message to replay.
Interesting.
But it's got a lot of really good storytelling elements. It really pushes the story further. She has the meeting with the Scoutmaster, and they're talking about the proving grounds, which is where the Scouts go to become part of the Eagle Guard.
Just some background. This book is a post-apocalyptic book where all society is based around the Boy Scouts.
A big portion of society is based around the Boy Scouts. Yeah. Her father is not a Scout, but they do respect him for his ability to decipher older tech. Nice. And they even at his feet. Well, not to spoil things, but her father gets killed by the Highwaymen, who were the group of bandits that she was trying to get away from in the first issue when she finds the bunker with the drone. And she's really dealing with this revelation that Hancock was killed by Scouts, and how she's trying to deal with that, and she's trying to retrieve the message to kind of prove that. And you know, her friend Dez has been, I'm assuming, under the impression that Kit is still a boy to her, has put the moves on Kit.
Oh,
so he has initiated some kind of romantic overtures to her while he believes that she is a boy.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yes, and she's
That's
trying to
be
figure.
Awkward.
She's trying to figure. She's going through that now because she's like, does he know I'm a girl or does
like a Mulan feel?
Yes, like a very Mulan feel to it.
But like in reverse, like a Mulan in reverse.
No, the girl Mulan was also dressed as a boy.
Was pretending to be a boy, but she's the one who had the romantic feelings for what's his name
for
right?
the commander at the camp and all that.
Yeah.
But this is like her best friend.
Cool.
This is Boy Scout Kit's best friend, and Boy Scout Kit's best friend Des has just made a romantic overture to her, the Boy Scout Kit.
Oh.
So as she's trying to get to this space and trying to figure out what's going through Kit's head, does Kit suspect that I'm a girl? Does Kit think that I'm a boy? She's dealing with that issue,
okay.
and then she finds out that the highwaymen have tracked her back to the compound that she lives in, and they are torturing her father to try to get this drone.
Wow.
And there's a moment there where Kit killed, and it's very violent. The Boy Scouts have really trained well for combat in this world, and she pulls some pretty nasty tricks to get these highwaymen to kill each other. And when she ends up killing them, I mean, she's like putting knives through their eyes and everything. So it's just it's very violent, but it's very short and very brief. And her father, she's trying to save her father, and her father's like, "You don't have the time. Take care of yourself." And when he passes away, the drone has that reactivated too. And so she's got this drone that she's watching after. And the Scoutmaster has eulogized her father at the funeral, saying that even though he was not a member of the Scouts, he was a very important member of our society for his knowledge of pre-war tech. And we will miss him because, as Hancock has told us, one of the tenets is knowledge is power. And so then she decides at the end of the issue to start training for the Eagle Guard, because if we're drawing any kind of like parallels between like Fallout, the Brotherhood of Steel tries to maintain some level of technology.
Yeah.
And so the Eagle Guard would be like the equivalent or the analog for the Brotherhood of Steel. So she's going to join the Eagle Guard to help decipher the drone. That's how I take it.
Well, there you go. Good choice. Number one, Taylor and I already chose our number one. Sword, number 3. Such a good issue.
Yeah. So I guess my number 1 this week was Thunderbolts number 2. Man, I'm really digging this book. It's a King in Black tie-in. Basically, I really like myself a team book of bad guys, especially when they're really as well written and as funny as they are in this issue. Basically what happens in this is they were sent by Kingpin in the last issue to go and stop Null, basically.
There's no way
there's no way they can do it. But
if you're reading Daredevil, Kingpin is really like feeling guilty about a lot of things in terms of Null's invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Did he help facilitate any of it?
No, he's like a politician who didn't listen to the professionals. The Avengers told him he was coming. He didn't evacuate New York.
Yeah.
And he lost Mary, Typhoid Mary, who was protecting him. He lost her.
Yep. So they were sent to go get a guy who had a plan. And it turns out at the end of the last issue, the guy who had the plan was Harry Osborn, who's at the Ravencroft Institute. And so this issue is the Thunderbolts getting Harry Osborn, or not Harry, but Norman Osborn, out of Ravencroft Institute with a bunch of nullified inmates. And so it's just a lot of fighting. It's a lot of quips. Batrick the Leaper and Dr. Death get into a little fight. And there's just a lot of great art, a lot of great nullified monsters in it. There's a cool looking nullified deer. Star gets a nice little part to show off her powers. But they learn at the end of the issue that part of Norman Osborn's plan also involves the lower half of Sentry. So that can't be anything good.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do there. Most of the King in Black tie-ins have been at least above average, and this is one of the better ones.
I hope this gets an ongoing after this.
I don't know if it will.
I don't think it will.
It could.
I hope it does.
Remember the end of the last Punisher series where it was like Punisher and then that girl Punisher, and they had like a little team going on.
Mm-hmm.
That should have gotten its own series too. You know,
maybe it will.
It didn't. Excellent choice though, David. That means it's just you, man.
Book
to go. I cannot believe you didn't read Casual Fling, dude.
I got like 20 books this week.
It was very cool. I was for sure.
And I'm not read them all yet.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. We're not going to talk about Casual Fling. Damn it! I should have talked about it in my honorable mentions.
We're not talking about Casual Fling. Surprise, surprise. Black Hammer Visions #1.
Oh, not bad.
It was probably the best book out of all the books I've read so far this week.
Cool.
Patton Oswalt is the story writer on this, and it really surprised me that he wrote a very good comic book. I like Patton Oswalt's comedy, but this really took me back a little bit for his understanding of the source material. Yeah. We basically get the story of these two girls, Eunice and what is her other name? Like Brittany or something like that. She looks like a Brittany. but they're celebrating their graduation from high school, and they start recounting their time in 4th grade where they encountered Gail. And then
who is a forever 10-year-old
in Black Hammer universe? Yes, she is a forever 10-year-old. She's like 60-something years old, but when she invokes her powers
it's
in
Shazam
the real world,
in reverse.
It's Shazam in reverse. But she becomes this 10-year-old superhero.
Yeah, instead of a young boy with no powers becoming a grown man with powers, she's an old woman without powers. Who, when she says the magic word, becomes a young girl with powers.
Basically,
she's stuck. You know, if you read Black Hammer, the whole team sort of gets stuck in this.
And this where they're stuck at. This is where they're. This is where the farm is. These girls have graduated a high school on the farm,
and they've been there so long that they're stuck in this area. So they have to sort of keep reinventing who they are,
and that comes up later in the book.
Yeah, in order to make up, why none of them have aged. Gail 10 years old forever. And these girls remember her both times.
Yes.
And then they see her a third time.
Well, the Eustace sees her a third time.
Yeah.
Brittany does not, because Eustace and Brittany had a fight.
Yeah.
And Brittany split. But basically, it's recounting the story when they first encountered Gail in the 4th grade. And then later on, they see Gail again, like 3 years later, when they're in the 8th grade, they see a girl who looks exactly like Gail, but claims to be Gail's cousin, Wendy.
Yeah. They're cousins.
They're cousins. And then later on, after graduation, Eunice encounters Gail and Walkie out in a field. And Gail has taken a liking to Eunice. Gail likes Eunice. She says she's weird. She's always wanting to figure things out, to explore. And Madame Dragonfly appears and is going to mind wipe Eunice. And Gail basically steps in and says, "No, I like this girl. If you do to her like you've done to everybody else here, she won't be the same. And I want you to leave that part of her alone."
Yeah,
and it's because Dragonfly and Gail don't like each other.
Yeah, don't get along. Well, Gail
they do not like each other.
Gail don't
well, Gail.
The coolest parts about this book were just seeing Gail being Gail. As a 10-year-old, smoking in the girls' room.
Yes, smoking in the girls' room.
50-year-old girl talking about needing a good lay, coming from a 10-year-old girl.
A science project where everybody dies. Everything dies, even you.
Yeah, it's just a lot of weird, like fish out of water moments, but everybody's sort of playing off her. And because Eunice is like, no, she was gifted, and the gifted are always misunderstood. She was a super intelligent 10-year-old, and that's why you misunderstood her. when she's talking to her friend Brittany or whatever. And Brittany's like, no, she was just weird, just like you. You're weird.
Yeah.
And then that comes around to the moment at the end where Gail's like, no, don't wipe her mind. Her weirdness is her gift, and you don't want to take her weirdness away. I get it as a poignant moment. My problem is it didn't add anything to the overall Hammer universe at all.
Doesn't necessarily have to add anything.
No, it doesn't.
These are just this series is just guest creators coming on and doing something, and I was just amazed by just how well Patton Oswalt made this story fit into that Black Hammer universe.
Yeah.
He also wrote that MODOK thing, right? That was pretty.
He did write MODOK. Yeah.
I didn't read the MODOK thing.
He's also, I think, executive producing and voiceover in the MODOK show that I think is still happening. Maybe not is happening.
I don't know.
But yeah, he's a huge comic guy. He's
he's a huge nerd. I mean, I really liked his Parks and Rec thing where he did the Star Wars.
Yeah, he did a filibuster. As a character in Parks and Rec who didn't want something to pass, and his filibuster was how to bring Star Wars into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's like a 15-minute long clip of him just.
He even brought the X-Men in too.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful,
dude. It's amazing.
But he said that Thanos would go into the Star Wars universe and use the Infinity Gauntlet, but that wouldn't work since the Infinity Gauntlet doesn't work in other universes. Just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong, but.
Retcon, man. Retcon.
Yeah, they're gonna have to retcon that for the movies.
I mean, I guess in the movies they can do whatever they want, but sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Did you transform that Cyclonus while we were
I did transform him.
Beautiful.
I love it. I love that look.
I know it's good. It looks good.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah, that is cool. It's so dumb though. That's what planes are supposed to look like nowadays. Okay.
Yeah, actually, since 2005.
They don't. Okay. Pretty good show, man. I wish you'd have read Casual Fling. I really want to talk about it.
It's still on my pile to read.
Man, it was like it gave you creepy man. What's that movie with what's her name? Superman's mom. What's that actress's name? Who plays Superman's mom?
Which Superman's mom?
The latest one.
Diane Lane.
Yeah, it's Diane Lane and Richard Gere. Unfaithful.
Ah,
it's like that, dude. Oh, it's screwed with me. But yeah, it was cool. That's an AWA book. Man, I wish you'd read it. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. You're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Go over to those other two platforms that you're not on now. Search out Outright Geekery. Give us a like and a follow. We're always doing awesome shit. Go to patreon.com/Outright Geekery. Give us $1 if you want. That'd be dope.
Just a tip.
We appreciate it. We got a ton of stuff going on all the time. Tomorrow night, we got the preview show. But Tuesday, Geekterion Collection, RoboCop 87. Not the new one. Even though I don't mind the new one. It was okay.
The new one's all right.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's an okay action movie.
But we're going to be talking about that with the Comic Book Bullies. So that's going to be a grand old time. That starts 7:30 on Tuesday. And then next week, we'll also have the Sunday and the Monday show, but we're doing top 5 on Tuesday. Top 5 comic book runs writers. It's going to be so much fun. I have my whole list done. I just need to put it in the final order.
Roll your dice.
Yeah, it's basically. Because I love all of those runs. But we got so much other shit going on throughout the week. The Bullies will be on later on tonight on our Facebook channel. Big Willie's got stuff going on all week, opening boxes,
sleeping 18 hours a day.
Yeah, sleeping 18 hours a day, reviewing comics, reviewing Golden Age comics with Thomas on OK Boomer. Yeah, we just got stuff going on all week, so stay tuned. Thanks everybody for hanging out, but most of all, thanks these 3 jokers for hanging out with the jokers.
Anytime, man.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Make me a hot chocolate.
I don't have to go to work tonight. Yay!
Because of the weather?
Woo! Yes.
Oh, no.
Good for you, man.